Play like a champion today.
It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up.
The difference between the impossible and the possible lies solely in the person's determination.
No matter how good you get, you can always get better.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
We're better together.
There will be mistakes, but with hard work, there are no limits.
We do whatever it takes. Persistence can change failure into extraordinary achievement.
Hard work beats talent.
Actions speak louder than coaches.
We never let good enough be enough.
Motivation plus dedication equals success.
You're never really playing an opponent, you're playing yourself.
Under pressure, you can win with your mind.
Players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Hey, this is Avery Sullivan, minor league pitching coach with the Texas Rangers. I just wanted to give a shout out to all the sponsors and donors at NCTC. My dad, Ski Sullivan, in the marketing department there, has told me what an awesome job y'all are doing supporting your students. And as a former student athlete, I know what a big deal that is. So just wanted to say thank you for what you do and best wishes.
We're better together. Go Lions!
Welcome to the 2020-2021 North Central Texas College Foundation Virtual Donor Scholar Breakfast. It's great to have all of you join us this morning, and though we wish you were joining us here in the gym, we are grateful that you're joining us virtually. We hope that you've all grabbed your cup of coffee and your breakfast from the comfort of your home or office. Each year we look forward to this event to get the opportunity to have our donors engage with their scholarship recipient. And as you know, 2020 and coronavirus has changed the way we were able to do that this year. We hope that our donors will still be able to see the impact they have on our students, and we hope the students know just how proud we are of your accomplishments. Through this experience, we have all learned that we are definitely better together. So this morning, we're using a sport team approach to celebrating our donors and recipients. My name is Ryan Morris, and I'm currently the president of the NCTC Foundation. It is my pleasure to welcome you as we recognize all of this year's donors and scholarship recipients. As you know, teamwork makes the dream work, and truly the work of the foundation is built on good teamwork between donors' commitment to our students and the students' commitment to their education. We are honored to have each of you join us this morning as we celebrate the accomplishments of our scholarship recipients and the support the donors provide. The NCTC Foundation is very proud of our students' accomplishments and the commitment of our donors to provide these opportunities for our students. And we appreciate each of you playing like champions. I would also like to recognize another special group of people who help make all of this possible, the NCTC Foundation Board. The vision of the NCTC Foundation is to encourage success and to positively affect the quality of life for NCTC students and their families. We're fortunate to have a foundation presence serving all campuses, Gainesville, Corinth and Flower Mound, Bowie and Graham. I know many of our foundation board members are joining us this morning. Thank you for helping lead the team, and we are definitely better together for the work you each do. The impact that NCTC has had over its 90-plus year history is truly remarkable, having impacted hundreds of thousands of individuals and their families, as well as the communities it serves. NCTC is committed to providing opportunities for students to be a part of a winning team by providing easy access to quality, affordable higher education and workforce training. As donors to the college, you are a critical part of the team to provide the necessary support to help students meet their educational and career goals. Now, to announce this year's new scholarships, I would like to invite Debbie Sharp, Vice Chancellor of External Affairs, to make these announcements.
Wow, it's hard to believe that we've been hosting the Donor Scholar Breakfast since 1997, and I can honestly say that 2020 has created lots of innovations on how we do things. When we started talking about this event, we were unsure how could we still meet our goals of honoring our donors and recognizing our student scholarship recipients. We hope that hosting this virtual event that there are some definite limitations, but we hope you know how much we appreciate each of our donors and how honored we are to have you as our students and be a scholarship recipient. Today is also a very special day for one of our donors. Patsy Wilson, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Patsy is a longtime supporter of the college, a past Board of Regent, a past Foundation Board member, and actually a past employee. So Patsy, have a fantastic birthday today, and happy birthday. Each year at this event, I look forward to getting to announce the new endowed scholarships that we've established this past year. So this morning, I'm going to share with you our new endowed scholarships. In 1960, as a teenager, Tommy and June had a dream of owning their own business. Tommy and June fulfilled this dream by establishing the Tommy Well Service. They worked tirelessly to create a strong culture and valuable service. They recognized the local community as being a vital resource to their past and present success. Their son-in-law, Randy Canton, an NCTC Graham Campus Foundation board member, shares with us that June is a firm believer in giving back. She loved the idea of helping the community that has helped them and believes education is a gift that keeps on giving. So this morning, it's my pleasure to announce the June LITTLEPAGE Endowed Scholarship, which provides them that opportunity of giving back year after year to the local community that has given them so much. NCTC is truly grateful for your support of our students on the Graham campus. Thank you, Randy Canton and Jude LITTLEPAGE. As Chancellor of North Central Texas College, seeing every day the need to assist students with their education and wanting to recognize the dedication and hard work of his parents, Dr. Brent Wallace has established the Reverend Garland and PATRICIA Wallace Scholarship. This scholarship will help our students as they pursue their educational goals. This will also allow the Wallace's legacy of helping others. It is my pleasure to thank Dr. Brett Wallace for leading by example and establishing the numerous scholarships he has to assist our students. Thank you, Dr. Wallace. In honor of Kevin HENSON, a cybersecurity instructor at North Central Texas College, who passed away this year, his parents, Kathleen and Kenneth HENSON, along with family and friends and other co-workers, have established the Kevin HENSON Memorial Scholarship for students at North Central Texas College. Preference will be given to students who are majoring in cybersecurity or a related computer information technology field. They also would like for students to have been active duty military or a veteran of active services. A special thank you to Catherine and Kenneth Henson for establishing this scholarship to continue Kevin's legacy and love of cybersecurity education. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Henson. NCTC professor Dr. Pat Ledbetter has made additional donations to increase the Bill Ledbetter Memorial Scholarship to honor her late husband. Dr. Ledbetter shared that they both were grateful for the help that they received in getting their education and Bill's support of education in every way possible. By establishing this scholarship, it is allowing them to help others with their educational journey. Thank you, Dr. Pat Ledbetter, for your continued support of NCTC and our students. The Morris Family Scholarship was established by Ryan and Christy Morris to assist Cook County students with a 3.0 GPA or higher. And the Morrises, as you all know, have been very supportive of North Central Texas College. Both Ryan and Christy serve in leadership roles with the college and understand the need for scholarship funding to help our students on their path. A special thank you to Ryan and Christy Morris for their continued support of North Central Texas College and our students. Thank you so much. I also wanted to take just a minute to say a special thank you to all of those out there that have supported us in our Student Emergency Fund. This year, during the COVID pandemic, you know that we have had many requests for students needing additional help. I'm proud to say, because of your support, we've been able to provide additional funding through the foundation for 450 students, valued at over $115,000 to help our students with these basic needs of food, clothing. Some of them just needed some assistance with transportation. So thank you all out there for helping us to provide these emergency funds for our students. Thank you all for your commitment to North Central Texas College by providing these scholarships and these emergency funds for our students. You are a big part of our team and helping our students on their on this team to be successful in their educational journey. So we are definitely better together with the help that we receive from our donors and also from our students. So thank you so much.
Next up to announce this morning's outstanding team members, I would like to ask Brian Manhart, the Executive Director of the NCTC Foundation, to the announcers stand.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for being with us. I hope you've had a chance to grab a cup of coffee and some breakfast. Up next, we've got our scholarship recipients paired up with their donors in conversation. We wanted to share with you, our listeners, the importance of the scholarship recipients accepting the donations of so many of our generous donors. So sit back, enjoy the time, and listen to how those scholarship recipients are taking advantage, being successful in their education with the help of each of their donors.
And let's get started with Steve. Steve, can you tell us just a little bit about you and maybe your history with NCTC?
Sure. So I grew up here in Gainesville. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. Went to St. Mary's for grade school, kindergarten through 8th grade, and then I went to high school at a boarding school called Subiaco Academy in Arkansas. And just as soon as I graduated from Subiaco, I started, back then it was Cook County College. So I would have started Cook County College in the fall of 91. I graduated Subi in 91 and then started that fall at Cook County College. Did that, then I transferred down to A&M and I got my degree in political science with a minor in business, and that was the fall of 95. And then I came right back home and I started working with my brother John Schmitz in real estate. He had quite a few rental properties, and that was my first job, is just to start with property management, managing his properties. Then I started managing other people's properties. Then I got into brokerage and investing in real estate, and it just kind of went from there. And that was 25 years ago. So I've been at real estate here long.
Awesome. Great. Thank you for that. And so we've got a local guy that's just spent a lot of time here, obviously believes in the community and is such a strong supporter of the college and the community as a whole. So I appreciate that, Steve. Cassidy, is there some things that you want us to know about you, or maybe even specifically you'd like Steve to know?
Sure. So I grew up here in Lindsay and around the Gainesville area, and I'm the second oldest out of 5 kids. And I'm currently attending NCTC after I graduated from Lindsay just last year. And I'm planning to play on the volleyball team at NCTC, which I'm super excited about, and I'll get to live in the dorms. So right now I'm kind of just spending my extra time with my family.
Very good. Awesome. Steve, if you can give us a little bit more of a feel as to how you feel like those scholarships and maybe your influence within the overall institution of NCTC has affected the local community. Where do you see that fitting into the local community?
Well, I mean, I guess as I look back 25 years, later, I always see the value that the NCTC has in the community. I mean, it's just a tremendous value for our community and North Texas in general to have a community college to get your basics at and to just get such a strong foundation. I look back, and that's one of the reasons I did, the Alton Kite Scholarship Fund, because specifically, he taught me Accounting 1 and Accounting 2. He taught my brother Joe Accounting 1 and Accounting 2, Ben Hawkins, I mean, several of my friends, and we always think, God, we learned so much in those 2 classes that we're used the rest of our life. And I always tell people, like, I went to A&M after NCTC, and I loved A&M, still do, but it's different. Like at a community college, I just see so much more true, real, close value to your life. I always say I can remember almost all my teachers' names at NCTC, where I just remember a handful at A&M, just because it was so big and it's not near as close to you.
Right.
So I just think it's a tremendous value to the community to have.
I appreciate that. And Steve, anything that you'd like to share, kind of closing things out, encouragement to anybody, reasons why you have done and made the decisions you've made, or that kind of thing?
I'd like to just, share with everyone that it's hard to appreciate how much work goes into the NCTC Foundation and just the mechanism of keeping track of all the different funds and keeping us organized and keeping the money invested and making the decisions on who gets the scholarship funds. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes. Once somebody's willing to make a gift, that's just one step. And then the next step is you got to have an organization like the NCTC Foundation and all the staff. And there's just a lot that goes into it. And I've served on several boards of several institutions, and I would put NCTC Foundation at the very top of all of them. I mean, it's just extremely organized and well done on how they allocate all these resources.
All right, Steve, thank you so much for spending time
bet.
this morning. Really grateful, and I'll keep you guys posted on future events, okay?
All right,
Okay.
Good luck, Cassidy.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care. Thanks to both of you for being here this afternoon. I'm with Randy Canton, one of our foundation board members in Graham, and Kimberly Wyatt, who's one of our students out in Graham. I'm going to let you both share a little bit more about yourselves with our audience.
Well, I guess we'll start out, Kimberly. If you probably noticed, I have a little twang in my accent. I'm not originally from Texas, but I guess I've lived in Texas longer than any other place. I'm originally from the New Orleans area, a little town called Gretna. So I was born and raised there, lived there till I was 18, and then went off to college. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship, so I do appreciate what scholarships have to offer. So I'm a firm believer in NCTC and what it does for you guys and the opportunity it gives, and I'm very proud of it. So anyway, that's enough about me.
Thank you, Randy. Kimberly, tell us a little bit about you, your family, where you're at in school, those kinds of things.
Well, I'm 29, so kind of a late start in college. I'm a mom of 3 boys, and we ended up in Graham through my husband's job. He's a wind technician, and he climbs the wind turbines in Bryson, Texas. And he's been doing that for quite a while, so it's kind of taken us all different kinds of places. But we got to Graham, and I found out that there was a nursing program here, and I just felt like it was my time now. I mean, because he's going to be at this site for a while, so now would be the perfect time for me to pursue my career.
Randy, tell me, why do you choose to spend time, effort, energy, resources, wisdom with NCTC? Not necessarily as opposed to other organizations, but why NCTC? What triggers that for you?
You know, I just think that there's so many young people that have potential, but they don't see it. They don't, they feel like, well, no one in my family is going to college, or I'm just not college material. And I just think that NCTC offers hope, offers opportunity for those kids that don't think they can.
Kimberly, do you feel like you're getting the support and encouragement that you need, especially as a wife and a mom of 3 boys? You got a few other things on your plate.
Yes, sir. I definitely feel like I have an amazing support system behind me just through the staff here alone. I mean, they're easy to reach, they're easy to talk to, they're very helpful, always pleasant when I'm speaking with them. I definitely feel like, I mean, like I said earlier, our success is their happiness. That's.
How has this scholarship helped you, Kimberly, through your studies?
I'm receiving 2 scholarships right now, one of them being the Peggy Graham and the other one being Catholic Charities. And they both have been more than just a means of paying for my tuition and my books and any supplies that I need, like my skills kit or my scrubs or anything. They've just been more than that. They've been so encouraging and another support system for me. And with their encouragement and their faith in me helps me gain more belief in myself and my abilities to succeed.
Listening to Miss Kimberly's background story. You know, Kimberly, my advice to you, I mean, you know, first of all, you really need to be commended for this task you have taken on to try to help better yourself. I mean, being a mother of three boys, that is incredible. But let me tell you what I think is more incredible: the example that you're leaving for those three boys. So you keep going after it. You keep staying it, and you may even have to take a little break. But always know that you can finish, and you have help, you have assistance. Take advantage of it, because one day you'll be able to play it forward. That's the beauty about it. When you give, you know, when you're able to receive, you're able to give also. And but I think the biggest thing is the example you're leaving for those three boys.
Awesome. Thank you for the leadership, Randy. I know that the community feels it from you, with you, and your family. I appreciate everything that you've done for the organization of NCTC and the community of Graham as a whole.
Kimberly, it was a pleasure meeting you. I look forward to meeting you in person one day.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you too.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day. I'm excited to be here with Mr. Frank Knapp and Michael LaFave. Mr. Knapp is a donor of ours with his wife Dorothy. They're part of the Frank and Dorothy Knapp Scholarship Fund. They've supported a number of different students here at NCTC. We're excited to bring Michael on board to help us understand and answer a few questions about kind of where he's at in life right now and how his scholarships helped him in the process of life. So, Frank, let's start with you. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and who you are and that kind of thing?
My name is Frank Knapp. We live in Corinth. I had a very good career with IBM. Spent 30 years with them, and quite a few years ago, they decided to step down a little bit and shorten the number of people in the company, and decided to take an early out, and just been having and enjoying myself since then. So I've been married for 58 years. Dottie and I have been friends, pals, partners for 58 years now. So that gives you a little bit of background of me.
Michael, I'm happy that you're able to be with us today also.
So my name's Michael LaFave. I go to NCTC. I've been enrolled since 2018. I currently work as a 911 dispatcher for the Flower Mound Police Department. I've been there for almost 12 years now.
Wonderful. Well, Frank, let me start. Why did you choose to provide NCTC with student scholarship funds? Help us understand your reasoning behind that.
It's an interesting story. We met with our financial advisor, and during the course of that discussion, they suggested that we might look into donating some of our monies to charitable organizations. So I looked at charitable organizations and couldn't find something that Dottie and I both liked. And so we decided to maybe look into education. An old saying come to mind, and this saying says, if you give a man 2 fish, you'll feed him for the day, but if you teach him how to fish, you'll feed him for life.
That's great. Thank you for that. Michael, tell us, you've been the recipient of the Frank and Dorothy Knapp Scholarship.
Yes, sir.
Tell us, how has that impacted you in your life and your work within the institution?
Well, it allowed me to continue going to school. I originally took classes to meet a requirement for work, and after I met that requirement, I decided to continue, and I didn't know if there would be any scholarships available for me. So I looked into it, and I also looked into it. I have a teenager now who will be looking for scholarships hopefully in the future, and I wanted to be ready to combat any of his excuses. You know, it's too hard, it takes too long. So I did it myself.
Frank, how do you feel like your scholarship donation has affected the local community or the community that you're spending a significant amount of time, in my perspective, just as I've gotten to know you, volunteering and that kind of thing?
I'm anticipating it, as time goes on, that they'll be more well-educated and have jobs that will let them create a lifetime,
Absolutely.
Thanks to people like Mr. and Mrs. Knapp, that do donate, that allow people like me to be able to continue with our educations. It's very, very helpful, and I would just like to extend my appreciation to them again for everything they've done for me and my family.
When I visited the campus, and every time I talk to you or Debbie or Dr. Wallace, I'm just totally impressed with how dedicated you are towards wanting the students to become successful and to work hard and someday become successful. And I'm really impressed with you guys. I really am. I'm very serious. So thank you for your work you do and the time you spend with them. Because I know, as Mike has expressed, that he sees that too, and I do as a donor also see that. So we hope to continue on for as long as we can.
That's wonderful. I look forward to many wonderful conversations moving forward. I know I speak for everyone at the college when I just express my appreciation for you, Mr. Knapp, your wife, Dorothy, and Michael, you as well. Thank you both for being with us today, and we'll look forward to talking again soon, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank
Good
you,
luck.
guys.
Thank you, sir.
Take good care. Okay, I'm here with Melody Arancibia from the Bowie area. She goes to school on the Bowie campus. And I want to just visit with her a little bit about her history and her future, as she has and is doing some really spectacular things. She's going to impact the world in wonderful ways. So, Melody, welcome. And would you start by just sharing a little bit about you, where you're going to school now, and sort of what your future plans are?
Yes, I'm in Bowie High School. I'm currently a senior. By the time I graduate, I hope to have 42 hours completed through NCTC. And then I am either going to attend Texas Tech or A&M. I haven't decided yet. And I'm hoping to pursue a major in architecture and then a minor in business administration and Spanish. And then a master's in architecture.
Wonderful. Tell me a little bit about your history. How long have you been in Bowie? How did you get here? That kind of thing.
Okay, well, I was born in Cuba, and I lived there for around 5 years. And then my parents did all the whole process to come over here legally from Cuba. It took around 4 years, and then we lived in Florida for a while. And we moved to Texas because my dad needed a better job. And we had some family over here that told us that the economy over here was better, that there were more jobs, more opportunities over here in Texas. And we lived in Louisville for most of my life, for a good amount of my years. And we moved to Bowie because my dad he loves animals, he loves land, and we found a pretty good deal over here. And then I started at Bowie High School.
Great. You have received the Bowie Rotary Club Scholarship. Can you tell me a bit about how this has impacted you or influenced you in your school with NCTC?
Yes, so originally that scholarship was supposed to pay for my textbooks for 2 classes. Since I am on the free or reduced lunch program, 2 of my classes already get paid for. And so they said, okay, the books will pay for it. But then later on, they saw that some students, like myself, were taking at least 3 or more classes. And so they said, okay, we'll pay for your 3rd class. And, just the textbooks themselves is a huge help because they can range from $100 to $300. But then the classes, that was even more of a help for my family because that's $400 that we don't have to, take care of anymore. And so I think the scholarships has really helped me get to those 42 hours that I wanted to achieve.
Do you feel like the NCTC community has surrounded you, provided the support that you need to be successful in your college career?
For sure. I was actually really surprised at how dedicated they are. Like during semester or finals, they had a little lunch for us. Like they had snacks and they had places where you could just sit down and relax. And they're always taking care of us. They give us goodie bags, and they're always kind of on top of making sure that we have everything we need. They do actually care, which I know is the purpose of school, but I was surprised at how dedicated they seem to their students.
I recognize that Karen and her team over there in Bowie hold their students dear to their heart and want to see each one of them succeed in wonderful ways. Obviously, you being a remarkable example of that. And I just want to thank you for the example that you're setting for so many young people right now, so many students at NCTC, just recognizing that they too have an opportunity to do exactly what you're doing. I know for a fact that we're going to see you in the very near future creating structures and buildings as an architect, as a graduate, most likely with a master's degree sometime in the very near future. And to understand where you came from, the workload that needed to be achieved, and the attitude that you have had, my hat really goes off to you. You're doing a remarkable job, and we at NCTC only want to be strongly encouraging to you. So keep up the good work, and you let us know if there's anything we can do to help in your level of success in your education, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks a bunch for being with us today, okay?
Way to go, team. You guys hit it out of the park. Thanks for your time and sharing those stories. Next on the agenda, we've got our tremendous guest speaker, Mr. Damon West. Damon has a master's degree in criminal justice. He's a college professor, a keynote speaker, and a best-selling author, and coincidentally no stranger to sports. We're so excited to have him with us this morning, right here on the Gainesville NCTC campus.
Hi, my name is Damon West. I'm a keynote speaker and author, and it's a pleasure to be here today at North Central Texas College. I'm a Texas guy, first of all. So when Brian Manhart called me up and asked me if I would do a video for your school, I thought, heck yeah, man, I'd love to do a video for that school, because I myself today am in higher education. You see, I'm a professor at the University of Houston downtown, and I actually teach a class called Prisons in America. And when I tell you this story today, you're going to find out how ironic it is that the name of the class that I teach is called Prisons in America. Because, well, honestly, almost 5 years ago today, I walked out of a prison in America where I was serving a life sentence for my role in a bunch of meth-related burglaries in Dallas, where a Dallas jury sentenced me to life in prison on May 18, 2009. Let me take you back to that day of May 18, 2009. I'm standing in front of the jury in Dallas County, and this jury has just listened to 6 days of overwhelming evidence of my guilt of the crime of engaging in organized criminal activity. They're looking across the courtroom at a guy that once had it all in life. I came from a wonderful family in Port Arthur, Texas. My parents are still married to this day for 52 years. I had a great life as an athlete, a 3-year starting quarterback for a 5A team, and I got a football scholarship to play ball right down the road from here in Denton, Texas, at the University of North Texas, where by the age of 20 years old, I was the starting quarterback for my Division I team. But then I got injured, and after the injuries came the drug use. And after college, when I graduated in 1999, I moved off to Washington, D.C. I got a job working in the United States Congress. I worked for a guy running for president. And then I came back to Dallas to train to be a stockbroker for one of the biggest Wall Street banks in the world, UBS, United Bank of Switzerland. And it was at that job as a broker that I was introduced to meth for the first time. And my world, and the world of so many innocent people, changed after that fateful day in Dallas, Texas. The jury listened to overwhelming evidence of my guilt, of a guy that once had the life of living a Wall Street stockbroker in training and then becoming a homeless person living on the streets of Dallas, breaking into people's cars, people's storage units, and eventually people's homes. These burglaries, they called them the Uptown burglaries, went on for 3 years in Dallas. And on July 30th, 2008, a Dallas SWAT team put an end to the Uptown burglaries. And that was the day they arrested me. Or as I tell audiences everywhere I go, that was the day I was rescued, not arrested. God got me out of a situation I could not get myself out of. And it was when I was in Dallas County Jail, and after that life sentence in prison, that I learned about the story of the coffee bean. Another inmate in Dallas County Jail was trying to tell me how to adapt to prison and how tough prison would be, but that I could handle the changes of prison because the power was inside me, and he explained to me how the power is inside me. He said, I want you to imagine prison as a pot of boiling water. He said, anything we put in that pot of boiling water is going to be changed by the heat and the pressure inside that pot. He said, I want to put 3 things in that pot of boiling water and watch how they change. A carrot, an egg, and a coffee bean. And so he said, first things first. He said, if I put a carrot in that pot of boiling water we call prison, he said, what happens to the carrot, Damon? And I said, well, the carrot turns soft. And he said, that's right. A carrot goes into the water hard, but the water of the prison changes the water, turns it soft and mushy and weak. And he said, the carrot got beat, he got robbed. Well, he may have gotten raped and he may have gotten killed. He said, you don't want to be a carrot in prison. He said, what about the egg? And a little bit more confidently, I answered him back and I said, well, the egg turns hard, like a hard-boiled egg. And he said, that's right. He said, the egg has a shell that protects it physically, but inside that egg, that soft liquid core, his heart becomes hardened. He said, now if your heart becomes hardened, you're incapable of giving or receiving love. And he said, if you're incapable of giving or receiving love, you have become institutionalized. And you will not come back as someone your parents recognize because your eggshell will have swastikas tattooed all over it. And that's when he asked me. He said, what about the coffee bean? And I had no clue. I didn't know what happened to a coffee bean in boiling water. And that's when he told me about the power of the coffee bean. Because he said, if I put a coffee bean in that pot of boiling water we call prison, he said, now you have to change the name of the water to coffee. Because he said the coffee bean, Damon, the smallest of these 3 things, he said, small like you, had the power to change the entire atmosphere inside that pot. He said the power was inside the coffee bean just like the power is inside of you. He said everybody in life puts out energy, negative or positive, and whatever kind of energy you put out, you attract back. He's explaining the law of attraction. He said to me, right before I got on that prison bus to be shipped off to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice from Dallas County Jail in August of 2009, he said to me, West, go out there and go be a coffee bean. Be a coffee bean. Man, if this guy was shooting me straight, if this guy was telling me the truth, then that meant that the power was inside me, not in the hands of the criminal justice system, not in the hands of the guards, not in the hands of the other inmates. The power's inside me. If the power's inside me, it doesn't matter that jury in Dallas County gave me a life sentence, sentenced me to 65 years that day on May 18, 2009, that the power was still inside me, that no matter what environment I go into, even a maximum security prison serving a life sentence, that I not only could survive in there, but I could thrive in there. And I got my chance to find out if the coffee bean was real. And let me tell you something. Prison was the most frightening, most dangerous, most horrible experience I've ever been through. The first 2 months of prison I documented well in my book called The Change Agent. But after I got through the violence and the hardships of the first 2 months of prison, I finally found out how to become that coffee bean. And I figured out there's 5 ways to be a coffee bean. The first rule of being a coffee bean is you have to maintain positive body language everywhere you go. That means you smile. And I know that a lot of stuff is going on right now in the world, y'all. I know the pandemic and with everything going on in the country right now, with the election and everything that's going on, it's hard to smile right now. But you got to find a way to smile because the power's inside you. Because what happens when you smile, you feel better because you release those endorphins in your brain, and other people see you smiling and they smile back. I asked Mr. Jackson in Dallas County Jail, what do you find more of in prison? And he said, eggs. He said, you're either going to infect the rooms you go into with your negativity or you're going to affect them with your positivity. So we want to smile everywhere we go and change those rooms with our positivity. The second rule about being a coffee bean is getting up every day and working on yourself in 3 areas: spiritually, mentally, and physically. You got to get in shape. And that means that spiritual workout is you get yourself right with God. And then mentally working out is what kind of books you read, what kind of videos do you watch, what kind of websites are you going to, what do you feed yourself mentally? Because you are what you eat. That's not just about food. That's about everything we feed this big brain up here of ours. And physically, take care of yourselves. Get enough rest. Take care of your bodies. You only get one body. The third rule about being a coffee bean is knowing what the secret to life is. And the secret to life is being a servant leader. Servant leadership. Servant leadership is helping other people achieve their goals in life, helping to raise other people up to a different station of life. Because when we're helping other people, that's when we're at our best. And I think everybody watching this message right now is a servant leader because you are getting this message because you have stepped forward to help people before. You've stepped forward to help North Central Texas College. So commendable to you for being a servant leader, because the most fundamental necessity to being a servant leader is humility. And you obviously have that humility. The fourth rule about being a coffee bean is knowing what you do and do not control. There are only 4 things you control, and all 4 of those things are between your ears. You control exactly what you think, what you say, what you feel, and most importantly, everybody's going to see what you do. And the fifth and final rule of being a coffee bean is the one that allows you to get up every day and know that you don't have to win all these fights, but you got to fight all these fights, because the fifth rule of being a coffee bean is that your past does not define you. Your past wins don't matter. Your past losses don't matter. Your past is your lesson. You learn from it and you teach others with it. The present today is a gift. Not a gift for you though, a gift for what you can do for other people. And the future is your motivation. But always motivate yourself with the right stuff, lest you become a prisoner in your own mind. And I'm going to tell you something. I meet more people out here in the free world that are locked up than I ever did when I was in prison. More people are imprisoned by their thoughts and by their things than by steel bars and barbed wire and concrete. When I walked out of prison on November 16, 2015, on a lifetime of parole in that life sentence they gave me, I vowed that I would never become a prisoner again, both physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. And I have never been to this day because I've been a coffee bean. So my call to action to each and every one of you today is this. And it's really the same call to action Mr. Jackson gave to me 11 years ago when I walked out of Dallas County Jail and walked into the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. My call to action to you is this. You go out there and you go be a coffee bean. Be a coffee bean. Thanks a lot, North Central Texas College.
Mr. West, thank you for sharing your story. It is my pleasure to introduce another scholarship recipient to share their remarks. I would like to welcome Renee De La Vaga to our team to share highlights of her performance at NCTC.
Hi everyone, my name is Renee Callahan De La Vega. I'm 37 years old. I'm a single mother of two young boys, 9 and 11. And I'm going to tell you the story about how I came to know Catholic Charities and the impact that they've had on myself and the lives of my family. So just before Christmas 2018, I was forced to flee a dangerous situation at home and was fortunate enough to find refuge in a Denton County domestic abuse women's shelter. While I was there, I found out about the nursing program that NCTC offered. Basically, just kind of out of necessity. I needed to find a career that could basically give me as much financial independence as possible in as short amount of time as possible. And my advocate encouraged me to gather more information. So one of the things that you don't realize when you leave an abusive relationship, there's no feeling of happiness or there's no celebration. It's a lot of loss. It's a lot of fear of the unknown and grief, because even though you go through a lot of hardship and there's the abuse, which is not fun, you're losing a lot. There's a sense of loss of something that you tried so hard to protect, the innocence of your kids, that sense of family that you give them and that you feel inside. And the people that I've met since then are really the best quality people. The people I have in my life right now are truly supportive, and this includes Catholic Charities and John Moragas, who I love dearly. So getting started in the program, we had an orientation, and that's where I met John from Catholic Charities. He talked to us about financial aid opportunities and how Catholic Charities could play a part in helping us to achieve success in the program. I was at that point, I had no idea how I was gonna be able to pay for school and a home for my kids and food on the table. And so I was looking to get as much help, frankly, as I possibly could, because I did not want that to be the thing that, caused me to not be successful. I don't want anything to stand in the way, honestly. Part of the thing that I really love about Catholic Charities, and John in particular, is they care, they stick with you, and they don't just provide financial support. They provide other things that you really need, to be successful. Emotional support. They help you with, planning your finances and your time for studying and things like that in a way that makes the most sense. And I'm so thankful for everyone who has been there to support and cheer me on, and so thankful that something like Catholic Charities exists, and hopefully in the future they'll be able to help even more people like myself and other people who find themselves in situations where they really want to better themselves and have a career and just need that extra little bit of help and support. Thank you.
Thank you for being the all-star of our team. Next up on our team is Don McDaniel, who serves on our NCTC Denton Foundation team.
Go NCTC Lions! I hope all of the scholarship recipients watching out there this morning know how proud we are of your accomplishments. You are truly all-stars on the NCTC Lions team. Each of you go the extra mile to work hard to accomplish your goals and are great team players to your success. For many of the scholarship recipients, the support that we were able to provide through the NCTC Foundation Scholarship Program makes education possible. Over the past years, through the generous contributions from our donors, we have increased the number of scholarships we were able to offer. Since 1986, over 26,500 scholarships have been awarded, valuing over $10 million. Congratulations to all of our All-Star Scholarship recipients. On behalf of the NCTC Foundation, congratulations on your hard work and effort as you pursue your educational goals on the NCTC winning team. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our scholarship recipients. I would now like to introduce Clara Salazar, who is on our Graham Foundation team.
Good morning, everyone. I am very thankful for each and every one of you, whether you're a donor, a student, a scholarship recipient, or part of our NCTC board. I want to say thank you. This morning I want to take a moment to speak directly to our students and our scholarship recipients. And first of all, I want you to know that without a doubt, we are so very proud of you. But I have a question for you this morning. And the question is, are you proud of yourself? Have you told yourself, good job? Good job for choosing to invest in your future. Good job for not being enticed or distracted from anything that could take you off of the path to a great education. Good job for being disciplined. You know, discipline is not always pleasant at the present time. For example, if you're dieting, it's not pleasant at all. If you're choosing to study instead of play, I just want to tell you, good job. Good job for being disciplined. I know it's not easy, but I promise you that it does pay off. Good job for persevering. Whether you faced a financial strain, or whether you've been ill, or perhaps you've had a loved one that's been ill, or maybe you just have felt isolated or lonely during this pandemic. Whatever that challenge has been, on behalf of the NCTC Graham Foundation Board, my name is Clara Salazar, and we want to say, keep working hard, keep pushing through, because you are absolutely worth it.
At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Brent Wallace, Chancellor of North Central Texas College and head coach, to come forward with our closing remarks.
Great job, NCTC Lions. I'm Dr. Brent Wallace, and I'm head coach of NCTC. It's been a great morning already, and I'm so proud of the work of our faculty, staff, and students as they've been a part of this morning, and so much has been going on over the last few months. First and foremost, thank you to our donors, to our benefactors for all that they do for our students. You have no idea the impact you're making on their lives. You've seen a little bit of that today, and you've seen it through the years, but the countless students that have been affected positively by your gifts and your time and your energy is just worth so much to this institution. Number two, thank you to our students who choose NCTC and choose to be a part of our team. We're a great team. We have a great group of coaches, staff, faculty, everything that you can imagine a college should have. That being said, the last few months have been challenging for a lot of folks, but we've been fortunate to have a great team in place. Our faculty and staff have done great work with students to keep them engaged in online learning and making sure that they don't stop out of their important role as a student. It's going to be challenging, but we've got a good team ahead, and the work that they do combined with your gifts and your time and effort is going to make a difference in their lives. You hear those stories every day. We hear those stories several times a day, and it's exciting for us to be able to just be a part of the lives of our students, whether it's a single mom or it's a young man trying to become the first in his family to get a college degree. Whoever they are, we're here for them. So thank you again for being with us. We ask that you would continue to think of us. Be sure to drop us a note or give us a call. We are going to look forward to hearing from you. And we also look forward to the day when we can all be back in one room together to celebrate the accomplishments of our students. Have a great rest of the day and have a great Thanksgiving holiday as we celebrate how much we really do have to be thankful for. Go Lions!